Today we are finally tackling the last lot in this city block in my world, and I am so excited to finally have this little portion of the world complete. And I think I'm going to put a fast food restaurant in here today. I think that would kind of go well with the community lots we already have over here. So before starting the fast food restaurant, I actually wanted to circle back to the beach that I did in the last episode because you guys left some really good suggestions in the comments for what to do with this, and I decided to take a lot of those and apply it to the beach. So I wanted to walk you through what it is I changed about it. So firstly, you'll see that I have this wooden beam here by the stairs. Originally, this was like kind of a gap here and I didn't like it and I thought it was ugly, but this wooden beam here fixes it and it still makes the beach functional, which is awesome. And then I also went in and I added a lifeguard tower. I got a couple of comments suggesting that as well, and I think it looks super cute, so Paris can just go inside and sit and watch everyone, but I think this really fills the space nicely. I also went and I added some weeds to kind of act like seaweed and some rocks and these like shells over here just to give the ocean part itself some kind of character. And then back here, you'll notice I filled up this beach area. I got some comments talking about adding tide pools over here, and I thought that was a really good idea, but then in my own time I was trying to add them and it just wasn't quite looking the way I wanted it to, so I instead decided to just make this area full of some rocks, some grass, and then you'll notice I have it fenced off, and there's a sign here basically saying like no trespassing, you can't go back here. But you'll notice that this fence here isn't like fully connected. This is just like a wooden object right here, and I can actually go in and like my parrot can go through it. And I put some lawn chairs and some litter. Someone had a comment basically saying they make this like a young adult party area, and I thought that was a pretty cool idea, so I decided to use that here. I did want to put a bonfire in like the comment suggested, but there was no bonfire object, so I just have a couple of lawn chairs. I may decide to go back in later and add that, or I'm hoping maybe at some point in early access that object gets added, but for now this is what I've got, and I think the beach looks way better now. Like, I feel like these suggestions really took it to the next level, so thank you for that. You can kind of see I'm doing a bit of an interesting exterior here. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to keep what I'm currently doing right now, but I feel like it's worth at least trying out. I almost kind of want to have like kind of this first floor and then a roof line here, and then the second floor and then another roof line on top. I think in order for the building to be even, I actually need to take everything in by one instead. I think I'm pretty happy with this roof line on the bottom over here, which means I just need to figure out what I'm gonna do with the top. And I'm honestly pretty tempted to have this be a flat roof, pretty similar to what I did with the laundromat in the last video, although I definitely don't think I'm going to make this like rooftop accessible, at least for this building. So I ended up having to move this lot or this building in by one on this side as well in order for it to be even on both sides. That definitely creates a big gap here. I'm thinking I'm going to utilize this alleyway somehow, whether that be putting a dumpster or some sort of area for maybe employees to hang out in. I don't know. I'll have to figure out what I'm going to do here, but I definitely don't want it to be wasted space. Obviously, the colors of the windows and the doors and all these trims are going to change, but for right now, I think this general shape and the wallpaper that I've chosen is probably going to be what I end up going with in the final product. It's just a matter of now getting everything else to kind of line up with it. I know I just said that the colors of the walls were final, but I actually changed my mind because I just made these windows navy and I decided I really want navy trim here, and in order to do that, this wall color has to change. I wish that I could change this sign here so that it wasn't as grimy as it currently is. Although I guess if the same mark is present on this one, you could maybe argue that it's intentional, but I don't really think, I don't know. And same with the yellow. I wish I could change the yellow because I don't really think that fits a whole lot either, but it's what we kind of have to work with. I don't really feel like making a custom sign. So I kind of went back a bit and I decided to just go with the siding that we had up here before. I think it does kind of go with the navy in almost like a weird monochromatic way. I do want to put a couple of small tables out here that maybe patrons use whenever they're dining. Nothing crazy, but just something. And then I will put just a couple of planters outside with some landscaping just to give this place a little bit of life. Every time I try to place these lights from build mode, nothing ever shows up. I'm curious if that's a problem for anyone else too. It's only this light, everything else works fine, so I don't know why that light seems to be the problem. Now I definitely need to put some stuff on the roof here in order to clutter this up. I don't think I'm going to make this accessible and functional like I did in the laundromat over here. I'm instead going to just make this decorative because I don't want there to be like kind of too much going on with it. Oh my gosh, these dumpsters are huge. Okay, well, it kind of kills that idea unless I can just make it a very small dumpster, something like that. That gets the job done. All right, so you can see that I kind of have a layout planned out here, and originally I was going to have this be kind of the dining area, and then there's gonna be a bathroom, a kitchen, and then this upstairs area that I wasn't quite sure what to do with. However, the more I kind of think about it, the more I think I'm going to actually have the kitchen be upstairs as opposed to down here, so that way I could just fit more than like 5 tables in and I can have a substantial counter, because beforehand there really was no good spot for me to put a counter. And so in order to prevent that, I think I'm going to have to extend this dining area probably to here, and then we can probably just have the counter space where you can go up and order over here, maybe, question mark. And then I'm thinking that the path upstairs will still remain the same. You have to go through these doors here. Maybe I will open up the space of it just so it's like a less narrow hallway, but not by much, maybe like half a tile. Here is just gonna be a half bath that Paris can use, nothing crazy. Yeah, I think that this will be a good layout. We'll see, obviously, as we keep building, it may need to adjust, which is fine if it does. Since the colors of this place are going to be yellow and navy, I do think it would be cool if we could reflect that in the flooring and wallpaper here as well. Maybe not like that, but something similar, potentially. I think I'm just going to start off by just placing a bunch of objects that I want to include in here, and then we'll figure out how to arrange them. So I placed some stuff and I changed some things around, and I decided I kind of want to have these booths almost. I don't even know if this is going to be possible in the game, but I want to try and see if I can get my para to sit down at one of these tables using like this booth seating. I don't know if it's going to work, but I feel like it would look cool if it did. No, I can't sit. Okay. This unfortunately doesn't work, which I'm not necessarily surprised about. What if I were to take this chair and then turn this into a booth? Because that might be able to work. Like if I take the advanced transform tool and I just kind of extend it like this, and then I place it like that, will this work? Okay, so it does work. There is just an animation of the chair kind of being pulled out and pushed in whenever that does happen, but I think I could work with that. I do think it looks like a cool booth right here, and so I think I'm gonna keep that. think this is a pretty cute layout so far. The only issue I'm kind of foreseeing is figuring out where to put the kind of counter where you can get like ketchup and mustard sauce, some trays, trash cans. I think I might put that over here by the door. I took another counter and I made it so that it's not as wide, or I guess as thick. And I think I'm going to put some of these trays and this fast food sauce container, just a place where customers can kind of serve themselves. I want to put these cute little napkin holders on every table. And then there are these cute ketchup and mustard bottles I feel like would go great on every table as well. Even better, I might put this little holder tray thing here, and then I can put all three of these things kind of resting in it. I think this is good as far as clutter on the table goes. I don't want to do anything much more than that because I feel like in a fast food restaurant, there really wouldn't be a whole lot more than that. I do think in a couple of places I will put these little numbered signs here as like a way for the server to know to drop off their order. I went and I took some food and I put it into this display case here. And so now I just need to make sure that it's actually possible to order this food. So let's see, can I purchase it? Yep, okay, that one works. Okay, awesome. And I decided to go with hamburgers, hot dogs, some poutine, and then pie. I figure that's pretty standard fast food stuff. At least the burgers and hot dogs are. The pies, I don't know, kind of made me think of diner, but I feel like it would still fit with this type of establishment, and I wanted to fill this top shelf, so it works out. I'm pretty happy with that. I want to put something cute in this area to kind of show like that there's some personality here, and I think this chicken and chick stuffed animal is perfect for that. Now, the last time I used these lockers, I think it was the video and where I made and furnished the office building. I used these lockers and I didn't realize that you could just drag them like this, like almost everything in build mode. And I placed them next to each other individually, and someone pointed out that I could just drag it like that, and that is such a game changer. I don't know why I didn't realize that you could do that, but now that I know, it's so much nicer. I think this right here is just going to be a employee area where they can just store their stuff, kind of drop off their coats, and then get to work. Nothing fancy here. So in my original floor plan of this building, I didn't have anything up here. This was kind of just a dead space I didn't know what to do with, and I'm so glad I changed it so that the kitchen was up here, because I don't know how I would have fit the kitchen and all of the other dining room stuff down on that first floor. I honestly feel like even with the dining room taking up the majority of the first floor, it's still not enough dining space. And so I'm glad I didn't end up compromising any of that space for the kitchen, because now I can really just focus on making a huge kitchen instead. I was kind of picturing this area on the left to be the main cooking area, whereas over here is really the more like dishwashing, cleaning area. Now it looks like range hoods only snapped to the wall, but since the stoves here are floating, we obviously have to, put it in line with the stove. So I'm going to use the advanced transform tool and kind of toggle it over the stoves here and hope that kind of works out. I worked in a restaurant in high school and college, and I remember they had like a pretty tiny desk in the back that was just kind of for managerial stuff for them to take care of, like business duties. And I think that would probably be a pretty good thing to include here, just something to add a little bit of realism. I also want to go ahead and include some boxes over here, as if like maybe they got some deliveries recently and they just haven't gotten around to unpacking anything yet or taking the food out. You know, I think I'm going to get rid of the cabinet that was over here, and I'm instead going to have a big shelf that's kind of full of different ingredients and pantry staples that the chefs would probably use to make things. I was wanting to pretend that these might be some sort of non-slip rug, because in the kitchen you would have things like this actively there to kind of break an employee's fall if needed, or to prevent them from falling in the first place. We technically don't have paper towel rolls in the game, however we do have toilet paper rolls, and so I think in order to get a paper towel roll that I can store on the shelf, I'm just going to take the toilet paper roll and then make it a little bit taller, and I think that will kind of do there, and then I can just copy that a bunch of times, and it looks like there are a bunch of paper towel rolls on this pantry shelf now. I think over in this area of the kitchen, it would likely be some sort of food prep area. I know in a lot of kitchens, the colors of cutting boards kind of indicate what food is meant to be prepped on it. Like for example, you wouldn't prep veggies on a cutting board that had raw chicken being prepped on it like right before it, and so that's why they have the different color codes. And I would imagine that this kitchen would probably operate in a similar fashion to that. So we can say that's the reason why there are a bunch of different cutting boards of different colors. I'm even going to put some bread on the cutting board just to make it look just slightly more realistic. We obviously need to put some pots and pans on the stove here to make it look like things are being cooked. And then I'm not quite sure what to do with this counter over here. I think I'm just probably going to put some dishes around as kind of like an overflow area, because I would think that this area or this side of the kitchen is where a lot of the dishes are done. And so you can see I have these drying racks here, but I wanted to include something on this counter space too. So I think I'm just gonna include extras of things that haven't been put away yet. I want to include some sort of wall decoration, and I think that the way we're going to kind of implement this is by putting the colors of the fast food restaurant on some banners. And I might as well just go and put this like on some of the other walls that don't have decorations on it either. So I finished this build and I was going in and playtesting it, and then it got to nighttime and I realized I didn't put any lights in this build. So I'm really glad that ended up happening, and I caught that because I totally would have just moved on and finished this build and uploaded it without even realizing that. So the build is finished, and so I thought I'd take you on a little tour of everything that we've done today. So this is the exterior here. I actually end up really liking the blue color scheme we have going on. I feel like it is pretty coastal and fits with what we're kind of going for in this town. And over here on the sides there are some planters and then a couple of tables, and that's about it for outside. Now, whenever you go inside, you can see you can walk in. There is a little counter over here with some plates and silverware and stuff that people can kind of just help themselves to. There's a table, and then over here is the main counter. This is the food that all of your paras are able to order. And then everything else back here, like the soda machine, these chips, these ketchup and mustard bottles, the online ordering stand, it's all decorative, but I feel like it really adds to the vibe and overall just ambiance of the place. It makes it really feel like it's a restaurant or a fast food restaurant of sorts. And then over here we have some more tables and then these fake booths, because they're really just chairs that have been stretched out to look like booths, but I think they look pretty cool, and I love that they're also functional as well, so you can have paras sit here. If you go over to this side of the building, this is the half bath that guests can use, and then over through this door is the little employee area. Here are some lockers, some cleaning supplies. When you go upstairs, you can see here is the kitchen. Over here is the prep and cooking area, and then over here is the dishwashing area. And if you go to the other side, you can see we have a pantry full of ingredients that they're using, as well as some boxes of food and just different inventory they need to unpack. And then lastly, there is a desk here for administration work. Like all my other builds in this series, this will also be available on the Steam Workshop with a link in the description below to access it. And with this build being done, we have finished the first city block here. And I'm so happy that this little section of the world is done. Granted, we have so much that we still need to work on, but it's really nice to have just a little portion done, and I'm excited because I feel like this has turned out pretty good. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a like, and if you want to see me continue to keep building in this world and create new things, be sure to subscribe so you'll always know when I post more. And if you have any suggestions of things I could do or add, please feel free to leave those in the comments. These have been absolutely awesome so far, and it's been super fun getting to read them. And yeah, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye everybody.